It's Matt Santagapita from the Mulligan Realty Group, and this is another episode of our Monday market update, coming to you a little later in the day. Not gonna lie, my morning and afternoon kind of got away from me, and this just slipped off my radar, so getting to it now. So I'm going to go through some interesting numbers here, talk about the week over week changes that we've seen on some of these, and I guess maybe just comment on a few of the new changes we've seen in Canada related to, call it more so, the lending or borrowing space and what I think is going to happen with the markets, the real estate markets in Canada. So this past week we saw new listings come in at 242. That actually represents a week over week decrease of 10%. Not really surprised. Generally this time of year we just started the whole back to school thing. And so you do see a bit of hesitation for new listings this time of the year. So what's interesting though is conditional sales for the past week in the City of London ended at 116, which is up 12%, with sold pending, so pending to close, sitting at 149, which actually week over week represents a 30% increase. And we've seen a 20% increase in price reductions coming in at 105. Now, a few things here. These numbers aren't, 30% increase seems to be a lot, but I think the thing we do have to remember here is we are just getting through the back to school thing. That just generally does create a lull in the market. Let's be honest, parents who have, parents who have kids, obviously you're a parent if you have kids. Anyways, households that have kids, in particular younger children, they're really not that interested in shopping for a home smack dab right in the middle or right at the start of the whole back to school thing. So what we're probably seeing here is a bit of a delay in buyers buying. Now, to comment on what we've started to see in Canada, so a few things. We've seen the announcement that CMHC insured mortgages can now go to 1.5 million, which I'm just going to address that. I don't think it's going to have a whole lot of effect. I think it's going to bring a little confidence in the market, but the reality of the effects of that, if you put the minimum down payment on a $1.5 million home, you have to have household income of about $380,000. Let's just be honest, those people already have houses. The other thing that they've done is they have extended amortization periods to 30 years. When that was announced, they first announced that it was applicable to, I believe, first-time home buyers and new construction only. However, when you read the legislation, I believe they have now said it's applicable to everybody. That will probably help a little bit because that's going to increase buying power by probably somewhere 10 to 13%, call it. The other thing that we have recently seen, what was it that we recently saw? And why can't I remember? What was the recent change? Oh yeah, they are now getting rid of the qualifying rate for people who already have a mortgage. So to give you kind of a general idea there, let's say the posted rate at a lender is 4%, you have to add 2.5%, so you have to qualify at 6.5. If you already have a mortgage, that's going away. Interesting, and I think it's definitely going to help because I do think at the end of the day, the people who qualified for mortgages at 2% are going to have a shock when you have to qualify at a significantly higher rate once the renewals come. But let's just call it what it is, guys. I actually don't think this is going to improve our market as much as they try and sell us. Politicians sell us unicorns and rainbows. I think if you were to ask yourself, do these things really change a whole lot of things for you as a regular person or for your household? I think you would honestly answer the answer to that would be no. And the reason is that at the end of the day, even though they've made some slight adjustments, the reality is that inflation, even though they say we're back closer to 2%, they're only looking at inflation comparatively over the past 24 months. They need to go back to look at what things would cost 3, 4, 5 years ago. And those costs are drastically up, whether that's the cost of home heating, electricity, gas, food, whatever it might be, those prices are still up significantly. And until that gets fixed, I don't think it's going to have these changes in the mortgage space are going to have a huge impact on the real estate market. I don't think prices are going to go down much. I don't think they're going to go up much. I think we're going to be stuck in a bit of a flat spot now. I think the correction has occurred. And it's just buyers are going to be picky. Buyers are going to shop for a long period of time because at the end of the day, there's no motivation that really drives them to go buy right now because they don't have the fear of missing out or the FOMO, as we call it. So that's my 2 cents. Again, it's Matt Santagapita from the Mulligan Realty Group, and this has been another episode of our Money Market Update.